had a really clear job to do when I took over Bud Light. And it was, this brand is in decline. It's been in decline for a really long time. And if we do not attract young drinkers to come and drink this brand, there will be no future for Bud Light. What does evolve and elevate mean? It means inclusivity. It means shifting the tone. It means having a campaign that's truly inclusive and feels lighter and brighter and different and appeals to women and to men. And we had this hangover. I mean, Bud Light had been kind of a brand of fratty, kind of out of touch humor, and it was really important that we had another approach.
Corporate America continues to invite brain tumors into their own organization, and it's not working out well for them. So what do we do about that? They're not stopping. They're infecting everything. What do we do? Let's ask Matthew Peterson about that. Joining me now, co-founder of New Founding and also Claremont Institute Senior Fellow. That's quite a list of credits right there in his name, Matthew Peterson. Okay, Matt, what do we do about that?
Yeah, well, the first thing to note is that when you're in a war, you need to realize you're in a war and you need to do something. So thank you for asking the question, which a lot of people don't ask. Let's take this example because it's really important to see how embedded this stuff is, right? And just unpack it a little bit. So there's kind of an unholy triangle between woke research firms, which get paid millions of dollars to tell woke marketing executives at companies like Budweiser that what they should be doing to make money, of course, is all this woke stuff. And then they give even more money to woke advertising agencies to run woke campaigns. Now, this happens regardless of how many people at these organizations, right, feel differently about politics. And the problem is the way these businesses hire right now, they're looking for the same degrees. This woman, I don't even want to know her background. I haven't even looked at it. I feel like I already know it. We all do. They hire the same kinds of people who do the same kinds of things, and they all work together to promote this agenda. The only way out is either for large corporations that already exist to start hiring people who aren't insane, or for sane people to go build new corporations. And both of those are possible.
Okay, both of those are possible. Let's focus on the new corporation part of it first, because I saw this from a Bud Light merchandiser talking about well, here's the video.
I work for an affiliate company. I am a merchandiser, and the sole product of the company I work for is Anheuser-Busch products. So with all this canceling going on, I've never seen such little sales in this past few days on these products. And it's sad because when people don't buy this beer, I don't make money and I can't feed my family. So it's kind of heartbreaking, I guess, that Anheuser-Busch did what they did. They don't know their clientele. So it's kind of heartbreaking. Thanks, Anheuser-Busch. I may not be able to feed my family coming up here soon.
Matt, I feel bad for that guy. Maybe because I have a relative in my own life who's stuck in the corporate world, getting a brand new rainbow email every week. Miserable. And they want out. They want to make money. Obviously, they want to support their family, but they don't think they have anywhere to go. What do?
Yeah, so you see this over and over again. Over the last 4 or 5 years, you really see this all over the place if you're paying attention and you're connected to the kind of people we're talking about. And here's what they want. Let me just repeat it, and then we'll go into what they can do. Look, people, it's not that they're cowardly. These are people who just aren't suicidal. Like, they don't know where else to go. They're willing, even in some cases, to take a pay cut to move to a red state. They want out of the madness. They realize that it's equity over excellence all day long, and they have to get out. A lot of them think they're going to have to resign on principle or be fired at some point, and that's probably true. So in the last 2 years, one of the things we did at New Founding was create a talent network where quietly these people can look for jobs, congregate together, and be matched to employers who also, want people who are about excellence. And that's the only way to fly. If we don't band together, it's over. You can't stay in these places. The problem is these big corporations can take a huge hit. Look at Disney, and they don't care. They'll just try to hide. They're not going to fire all the people who are making bad business decisions, by the way. They're not going to fire them. Go woke, go broke doesn't work. We have to combine all the talented people out there to make new things. And in a lot of cases, they're not necessarily entrepreneurs, right? They're a highly talented professional. They don't necessarily want to start their own business. So they need to combine with other people of like mind to put the parts of the amulet together to foster a whole new range of businesses with people who just really want to build excellently. And look, I think this is a commercial cultural movement that is latent. It's out there. It is real, but we need to help foster it, and we need to help people out. They need to exit woke capital.
Absolutely. All right, now let's, before we come back to new founding and this new network, new parallel economy, let's focus on something you just said there. They don't care about taking a hit. That's so weird to me, Matt, because even CEOs, even high-powered CEOs, if you're only as good as your last quarter, as they say in the corporate world, he's got to stand in front of a board and explain with the charts and the graphs and how much better they're doing and what the path is forward. And if you're Bud, in this situation, let's say they really do lose $5-10 billion, they have a CEO. He's got to stand up and point to the board and justify that. Why don't they care if they lose money?
Well, here's the thing. If the board, like in the case of Disney, has people on it who are okay with their daughter having a hysterectomy because she's confused about her gender before she reaches the age of 18, the board may not be entirely sane. The other problem is that in a lot of cases, the board isn't a bunch of, old guys who are looking for the long-term health of the company. But these companies will be owned by giant conglomerates that are, really run by Ivy League kids pushing numbers who want to force them to go woke. So the thing that what will happen is, of course, they'll realize if they take a big enough hit like Disney did, well, we have to steer around this. But they're not going to solve the problem. They're going to try to subtly hide and mute the wokeness, right? And they'll just keep going in the same direction. They never actually root out the problem. They feel as if it would be career suicide in elite society to actually say, you know what, all these woke people are fired. And they're so big that, again, it's not like they've completely gone bankrupt. They haven't gone broke. They're enormous corporations. And so they think they can weather this out over time. And everyone in elite society, including all the experts who work for the consulting firms, tell them the same thing. So the only thing that they're going to pay attention to, I agree with you on this, is taking a financial hit. That is why we have to band together talented people to create alternatives that aren't just grifty, but real, to really start taking market share. Because if we do that, then we'll actually build something good while they drive themselves into the ground. But until there's a competitor...
Which brings us to new founding. Tell me what it is.
Yeah, so 2 years ago, I was watching the results of the election, really even before that in 2020, and I just felt like we have to go do stuff. We have to go build what's needed. We can't ask anyone's permission anymore. I was sick and tired of, begging some of the, boomers. Some of them are great, some of them aren't, for permission to go do things. And I met up with my business partner, Nate Fisher, and I moved to Texas. And we just created a venture model really in the beginning. We built a bunch of stuff in media and otherwise that we felt needed to be there. And during that time, boy, I tell you, I traveled the country. I listened to so many people who were in these situations, and we just started to experiment with how do we solve these problems, but for real, with talented people. So I'm actually transitioning out as some of our things are going to successfully go to other entities I can't talk about right now. And then New Founding itself is building the talent network, which is taking off like gangbusters because people want out. And so we built a lot of things we just felt actually, we're addressing the landscape of reality that we're going to push things forward in media, finance, and tech. And at the heart of it really has to be connecting investors with entrepreneurs and talented people together to foster. It's not even a new economy. It's really just the actual American economy that hasn't been taken over by woke communists. And look, the energy is there. I'm telling you, like it's a terrible thing to look out in the news, I know, today, but I think that we can do this. We can take action. And that's what this is all about.
Support the First TV today and get instant access to exclusive specials like Who is Ron DeSantis, the history of FBI scandals, and America's worst presidents. Visit thefirsttv.com/support or download the First TV app to become a supporter and start watching today.